know you got to believe that. Come on, say it again. Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn around. It's gonna work in your favor. It's gonna work. 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 God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn around. I don't know what you're facing, but God said, come on. God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn around. God's gonna turn it around. I dare you to look at your situation and say, it's gonna work. Woo! It's gonna work. It's gonna work. God's gonna work. God's gonna work. While you worship, he works. While you worship, he works. While you worship, he works. While you pray, he works. While you pray, he works. I feel the ground shaking. He works. He works. He works. I know you feeling something. He works. Let the ground shake out of your praise. He works. He works. He works. He works. God is working. God is working. God is working. God is working. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Your deliverance. It's gonna work. Your breakthrough. It's gonna work. Your open door. 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 It's gonna work. It's gonna work. I know the devil. It's gonna work. He thinks that you're in the innermost cell, but God said it's gonna work. I don't care how the devil try to tie you up, but it's gonna work, sis. It's gonna work, bro. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Come on now, late in the midnight hour. Late in the midnight hour. God's gonna turn around. It's gonna work in my favor. Oh, I gotta make that personal. Late in the midnight hour. God's gonna turn around. It's gonna work in my favor. God said, it's gonna work in my favor. It's gonna work in my favor. Woo! It's gonna work in my favor. Sometimes you gotta dance with that, y'all. It's gonna work in my favor. Yes, God. It's gonna work in my favor. It's gonna work in my favor. Come on, now the Bible said after you have suffered a little while, God comes through, y'all. And when I come out, I shall come out as pure gold. When I come out, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. God's turning your mourning into dancing. Your sorrow into joy. Your mourning into dancing. Your sorrow into joy. He turned your mourning into dancing. He turned your sorrow into joy. He turned your mourning into dancing. He turned your sorrow into joy. For it's gonna work. 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 I believe God. I got my strength back, because it's gonna work. Come on now, come on, come on, come on. It's gonna work. I believe God for you, sis. I believe God for you, bro. It's gonna work. The ground is shaking. The ground is moving as you worship, as you praise. Give glory. Give glory. Give glory. Give glory. Stay right there. Come on. Give glory. Give glory to God. It's gonna work. Hey, it's gonna work. And the thing about Paul and Silas, because their praise was so strong, not only did they get loose, but everybody in prison got loose. Because that's why it's gotta work. And that's why the enemy been fighting you. Because it's not just about you. There's some people that have been held captive. And your praise not only is going to free you, but it's going to free them. So it's going to work. 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 Yes, God. It's going to work. It's going to work. You're fasting and praying. It's going to work. It's going to work. I feel God. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. As I praise, it's going to work. As I worship, it's going to work. Yeah. God's going to turn around. He's going to turn it 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 around. I see it. He's going to turn it around. He's going to turn it around. I see daybreak. Hey, I see daybreak. I see daybreak. I see a prison break. I see a prison break. I see a prison break. It's going to work. It's going to work. Sometimes you got to stay right there. It's going to work. I know you're looking at me like, why is she still bringing this song? But it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. My family. It's going to work. My business. It's going to work. My ministry. It's going to work for my future. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to. Do you hear that trembling in the spirit? I hear it in the spirit. The ground is moving. The ground is moving. Hey, the ground is moving. I see shackles coming loose. The ground is moving. Whoa. The ground is moving. Hey, late in the midnight hour. Late in the midnight hour. Oh, late in the midnight hour. Oh, God. Late in the midnight hour. Now, there's something that happens at midnight. The first watch of the night. That's when God moves. Oh.